Yo, what's going on today? How's everybody doing today? If you guys are all having a fantastic day, as always. Today's gonna be a little bit of a different video. I kind of just want to do all my settings and everything like that. Yeah, start with my controller, man. I don't want to talk about my controller. It's my button layout's really weird. We'll go into. So I have complete custom. I jump with R3. Uh, I shoot with bumpers. My lethal's L2, and my attack is up on the D-pad. Melee is X, and my ping is R2. Believe it or not, I used to shoot with my R2. So I would literally aim in with my L1 and shoot with my R2. But on my old controller, my R2 broke. So I ended up going back to bumpers. That's the reason why my lethal's on L2. And my attack is on up arrow. Because I needed my lethal, I needed my nade more than anything. And then I was like, yeah, my attacks aren't as important as my nade. So I'm just going to fucking make it on my D-pad. So yeah, and the reason for me using R3 to jump, I played bumper jumper in the past, like really long ago. I just don't like bumper jumper, so I made it R3 because I'm still able to jump and control my aim and everything all at one time. So it just made sense to me. I do play claw, as you guys do know, but honestly, the way my finger is, reaching X is kind of annoying. So I just, yeah, it just made it easier for me. I play default stick preset, of course. I have vibration turned off. I know some people play with this. It's completely up to you. I know Kenny, he loves it. He like explained why he's used it. I completely cut out my vibrators on my controller, so yeah. Uh, Dead zones, I'll be honest with you, these are completely personal to you. Like when it comes to the left and right stick minimum. For me, I have a fuck ton of stick drift from my right stick. You probably see in some of my videos where I'll just, as soon as I spawn in, I'm just kind of to the left every time. So I do need to tweak this a little bit more, but I don't want to turn it up too much. My left stick has a lot of stick drift as well. To be fair, I use a stock DS4 controller that's old as shit. So yeah. So I play with 5 and 3, and then 70 on my left stick. To be honest, I don't know why I did this. I saw like some people doing this. I was like, oh, let me try this out. So I kind of just turned it to 70. Like I was kind of tweaking it. I tried like super low. I had it like, I think I had it like 60 or 55 at one point. I didn't really like it. It was kind of weird. So I do 70. Basically just allows me to push the stick, and it basically is at full value with very minimum effort. Right stick is 99 because I like having my full control of my right stick pretty much. And then left trigger and right trigger, of course, turn these down to 0. If you want the fastest, basically, your triggers to shoot at any pressure, use this, pretty important. I play 5.5 sensitivity. Yeah, and 0.75 ADS. Okay, so I get clowned a lot for this. I used to be a high sense player. I used to play, I think it was like 9 or 10 for a while. And then like before I like started grinding ranked, I was playing, I think it was 12.8. 12.8 or 12.7, I can't remember. Yeah, I played like waffy. Wow. All right. I played wonky sensitivities for a minute because vertical is kind of pointless when it came back to boots on the ground. Not very many people are jumping in the air or anything, so I don't need it cranked. So yeah, I had it like that. So I played lower sensitivity, like ADS wise, so I was still somewhat accurate along range. So yeah, and then I took a break, came back, finished 5.5, and it's been the same ever since. Oh, that's normal. I do play linear. No, I didn't hop on the linear trend when Haggy tweeted out his video about linear and everything. I've been using linear since MW2. Um, I just like linear better than dynamic personally. I don't know. I like the fact that I have more control pretty much of my thing. Like I have actual full control. Like aim assist is still aim assist, but it's not like, I don't know. If you guys use linear, you'll understand. But if you don't, yeah, it's very hard to explain. But the reason why I play linear is I come from Apex as well, and I've always used the ALCs like settings and everything like that, and that just kind of feels like this, so I just prefer this. Of course, aim assist, and I just use default. I don't like Black Ops in this game. It feels kind of weird, so I just use default. Motion, interesting. Didn't even know it was there. I do play with AS. I don't play with ATS. I just don't. I don't know. It messes me up a lot. At least like with some weapons, I'll be running forward and it's just kind of like, or I'll try to shoot them and it just kind of does it again. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Slide, maintain, sprint. Pretty important, honestly. If you want to be able to slide and keep sprinting, it works. I have it on toggle for sprint behavior. I turn that off and I was able to outrun. None of this really matters too much. I mean, it's all personal preference. The only thing I recommend is probably turning on hybrid if your slides feel like shit. But I will admit there are still times where I will mess myself up and slide or dive at people instead of sliding. So yeah. A lot of people use free. I use trigger. It's just comfortable for that. Door bashing, of course. Turn this on to movement based because oh my god, it's annoying if you don't. I use hold instead of toggle. I actually do know a couple of crackheads that do use toggle, but if I was MNK, I'd use toggle. It's just comfortable in MNK, but all of this is kind of. Oh yeah, I use prioritize interact. I've been using prioritize interact since Warzone. Yeah, I just gotten used to it, so I don't know. It gets you killed sometimes, we'll admit, because you'll go to reload and you'll pick up something stupid or some shit, but you know. Yeah. Deployed ammo weapons. Oh, okay. Yeah, none of this is very that important, honestly. Yeah. All right, let's go to my graphics settings, shall we? I play on a default 1920 by 1080 240 hertz monitor. I say default because the reason being there's 1440p OLED, like there's all of this shit now, but I just play normal 1080p, nothing too crazy. I play at 65 brightness. It's comfortable. On plus boost, there's a whole thing you can go into to figure out why. Someone explains the benchmarks around it. So if you do the benchmarks and your bottleneck CPU or bottleneck GPU, whatever it may be, turn that on for that reason. Yeah. Honestly, not really that important. I play at 250 on sort of lock my frames as 250, so I don't need any reason to go any higher. But all right, for quality, I'm not gonna lie, I pretty much play all low, but yeah, I played 100 for render resolution, of course. Dynamics turned off. I use fidelity. Some people are using the new one, FRS. Not my thing. I personally don't notice too much of a difference, but I feel like the FSR or whatever, it looks a little bit more like shit than some things. So 70% V scale because once again did a bunch of nerdy nitty gritty shit and looked into it. 70 is probably the best depending. Variable shadow rates, I don't remember what this is for, to be honest. Texture's very low. Texture's low. Depth of field I have it turned off because it looks like shit. Detail quality levels on low. Particle, I have no reason for this. I think it's pointless, but so I turn it off. If I could turn it off, I'd turn it off. I have bullet and persistence effect that I don't see them as useful, so I have them off. Shaders, I mean, it makes the game look cool, but I have it turned off. I have it turned on low, yeah. I have this on normal. I can't remember if I had that on low or not at one point, so I just what's going. Now, I'm gonna be honest and honest with you. Shadows matter in this game, but they don't matter like where I need my shadows cranked, because if you guys are already running on like a lower end PC, this will tank your FPS. So just either run low or very low. I run low because it allows me to at least see. I'll use terminal for instance in this example. If I'm at back plane and some or not, well, like front plane cockpit by like the door, and someone's standing outside on the railing, the sun hits them to where it shows their shadow in the plane. So shadows are very important in this game. They've actually known to do a lot. So I at least have it on low, but yeah. I'm gonna be honest, I don't see the point in this. It might just be me, but yeah, I have it turned off. Ambient occlusion, I don't care. I'm not gonna look at all that kind of shit, to be honest. Reflections look nice, but once again, I'm not staring at the ground, so I don't care. I don't walk into things and stare at things, so I have it on low. This apparently is actually really good to have turned on near, because if you have it on all, let's say you're playing zombies, it is rendering all of that shit like far as shit. So like, let's say you're playing zombies and like you're in tier 1, I don't know, by sub base, and you're trying to go to tier 2, or like in tier 2, all that shit that's raised up, like all the ground and everything, that is rendered in. So it's like tanking your shit too. I don't see the point in volumetric quality lighting, to be honest. I don't really care. And I have both these or all these turned off because I don't care. All right. I play 120. I know it's weird for most competitive players. I just like 120. I used to play 97 for the longest time, but I don't know. 120 just looks good for videos. So, affected. If you play controller, please turn on affected and wide. Oh my God, it is the greatest thing ever. It basically makes your guns feel like they have less vertical recoil, or less recoil just in general. Granted, they'll have recoil, but it's not as like visual. So definitely do that. Now the weird thing where a lot of people probably gonna clown me for, I play with motion blur. I haven't noticed anything like competitive wise for it, to be honest. Like, I'm still able to do everything, but I play with motion blur because it just looks really good in videos, honestly. And I know a lot of people like, oh, motion blur gives you sickness or anything like that. There's a thing, I actually think it's this. If you crank this down to 50%, it's not like crazy. If you have it at 100%, yeah, it's fucked. But 50%, it makes it looks nice. Like, I barely notice it actually, but when I'm watching my videos or anything like that, like editing them, I notice it quite a bit. So yeah, it just looks good, honestly. So audio is kind of all personal preference, honestly, but I use headphone base. I'm a dual PC, so that would be my headphones. Master games 100, of course. Dialogues 10, effects 100. Everything else turned off because I don't want to hear it. Voice chat's 14 because motherfuckers be loud as shit, especially with their fucking new PS5 microphones, man. So tired of hearing people clicking and clacking on their roller. I love y'all, but Jesus, man. Voice chat's on. I just like hearing people. It's funny. Cross-city chat, you know, all that. Last words used to be the funniest thing. Normally it would be, what's it called? I would run push to talk. I plan on buying a foot pedal to put that, but you know, yeah, I don't play subtitles or anything like that. So that's all that. Apparently this one's actually a really good thing to turn on. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that word. Reduce tinning sound. That works. When you get flash basically, or concussion, I recommend it. It's not as like terrible. These are all kind of personal preference. War track, Juggernaut, you know. I don't care, so I turn it off. Hit marker sound effects, to be honest, it's personal preference. I don't run any because I just don't care. So it's just kind of extra things cluttering sound for me. But yeah. Interface, subtitles are all off, you know, typical stuff. My color customizations, I use pink and then yellow. And the reason for the yellow enemies is, here's science behind it. Our brain registers yellow faster than any other color. So that's the reason why we see caution signs that are bright yellow, and also same with the yield signs, and also the yellow light. That's the reason why they're yellow, is because your brain registers that color faster than any other color. So to me, it made sense to make my enemies yellow. So yeah. I do recommend, if you want your things to be brighter, do filter 2. It just looks so much better. So yeah. And then of course, when you guys do your custom colors, make sure you set, where is it at, the brightness all the way up. You can also do the saturation up. I just have mine turned down a little bit, so that way it looks a little bit more like the pink that I want. So yeah. All right. That is pretty much it. I use square. Do not use circle. It's terrible. You lose so much information on it. This is personal preference, honestly. I don't like it, so I don't run it. But horizontal compass, once again, personal preference. I see no use in it. This one. I do not play with the crosshair. I play with the center dot. I do not like the crosshair. I'm gonna be honest. So I play with the center dot. But if you do play with the crosshair, put it on static. That way it's not sitting there, you know, moving and swaying and all that. So, but yeah, I normally just play with center dot, and I play with the default one. I recommend larger or largest if you guys are switching to it. So yeah, that is pretty much it, man. I have hit marker visuals on, but I have Davin based hit markers turned off. Abbreviated, yeah. All this kind of the basic stuff, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think this works. I had this on forever and I still get those movies. So it is what it is. But yeah, that is everything, man. So yeah, I appreciate all. I love you all. I hope all of you guys enjoy this video. And hopefully this kind of helps you. But as I always will say, man, don't go changing your settings or changing your sense or all this kind of shit that's going to impact your gameplay because you see other people doing it. I promise you, it's not worth it. It does nothing. Stick to with what you're consistent with. Okay? It's okay to want to try something out and everything like that. Not gonna knock that because I do it too. But I don't touch my sense because I'm consistent on my sense and I have been for a while. So I recommend just, if you feel like your sense is too slow, bump it up a little bit. And by a little bit, I don't even by one and then trying it out. If it's too much, don't go back. It's just not worth it. Okay. Like genuinely, I know you see all these people. Oh, he plays 7-7. Cellium plays like 10-7. It's like, oh, I want to be like. I understand that. I do. It's just not worth it. Okay, I promise. Leave your stuff as is. Vibe out. Get consistent on what you have. So yeah, man. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you guys all have a fantastic night, morning, or evening, where the fuck you're at. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye bye.